Welcome back to Building Character, where we figure out how to play as your favorite fictional characters in Dungeons & Dragons. Join the Patreon to support the channel, follow me on Twitch to watch my streams, and like and subscribe for a better timeline next time you play. Maybe. Today we're building Kain from the Legacy of Kain series. Nothing to do with raising Kain's chicken fingers. At least I don't think so, but now that I mention it, I think being the scion of balance would help you get the sauce that tasty.
You know, just because you have bragging rights doesn't mean you have to use them. Raising Kains.
Let's start off with our goals for this build. First, we need a Soul Reaver, a magical sword that's also sword of a dude you killed. Next, we need those vampire powers, blood-sucking, shape-shifting, etc. Finally, we'll get all the other powers. There's just so many over the course of the games. If you run through a bunch of timelines and dimensions and only had a magical sword, that'd be pretty disappointing. For stats, we're going to be using the standard point array from the player's handbook. Roll for stats if you want, just keep those multi-classing minimums in mind. Charisma will be number 1. Being intimidating is not just a skill check for you, it's a lifestyle. Constitution next to our hit die are going to be a little small, so it would help if we got some HP from our stats. Dexterity after that, Kain is definitely pretty flexible. Follow that up with strength. I wish it could be higher, we just can't have everything, and it's easier to fix up with skill proficiency. Same with intelligence. Our classes will give us a lot of options to patch that up, and we'll dump wisdom. Kain gets a little bamboozled. It's kind of why the whole series happens. Pretty common for a video game protagonist, honestly. We'll make Kain a DHAMPIR. I know it's only a half vampire, and some long dead unearthed arcana has a full vampire, but I'm not a necromancer. I just build necromancers. Bump your charisma by 2 and your dexterity by 1 to maximize your AC in medium armor. Enjoy 60 feet of dark vision, deathless nature so you don't have to breathe, spider climb for a climbing speed equal to your walking speed, and at 3rd level you can even dance on the ceiling. RIP Kain, you would have loved Lionel Richie. But obviously the best part about being a vampire is how much it sucks. Your bite attack is a simple melee weapon that uses your constitution modifier, deals 1d4 piercing damage. You have advantage on your bite attack when you're below half health, and you can heal or add that damage to your next ability check an amount of times per long rest equal to your proficiency bonus. With the classes we're picking, this might get even better. Since vampires are a lineage rather than a race, we get 2 skills for free, like perception and investigation, and we'll take the soldier background for athletics and intimidation. It's the background for dudes who love violence. We'll kick things off as a warlock for 2 skills from the warlock list, like arcana and religion, to understand what each of the Council of 9 do. For the Soul Reaver, there's no better class for a magical sword fan than the Hexblade Warlock, giving you proficiency with martial weapons and medium armor, as well as making you a Hex Warrior. That means you can use your charisma modifier for 1 weapon of your choice, though at the moment it can't be two-handed. We're gonna fix that in a few levels. Hexblade's Curse lets you pick a creature to absolutely wreck, critically hitting on a 19 or a 20, adding your proficiency bonus to your damage rolls, and you heal an amount equal to your warlock level plus your charisma modifier when you kill them, sucking their soul into the sword. So nice of you to give Raziel a roommate. Warlocks also get spells and cantrips. Eldritch Blast is just a great little evil beam, firing a ranged spell attack that deals 1d10 force damage. Maybe that means it directly hits their soul in multiple dimensions. Force damage is funky like that. Create Bonfire is an early fire option, forcing a dexterity saving throw on a creature in a 5-foot cube. Failing that, they take a d8 of fire damage. For 1st level spells, Charm Person forces a wisdom saving throw on a humanoid. Failing that, they're charmed for up to an hour for some early mental manipulation. Witch Bolt is a ranged spell attack that deals 1d12 lightning damage, giving you an early lightning option. You can even deal that damage on subsequent turns if you maintain concentration. We're getting a lot of early options here, because for the full Kain power, we need higher level stuff. 2nd level warlocks get invocations, and hey, I want higher level ones, but for now, Agonizing Blast lets you add your charisma modifier to your Eldritch Blast damage, and Eldritch Spear makes the range 300 feet. I'm swapping one out as early as next level, we just gotta get there. Shield is a spell exclusive to your Hexblade list, letting you add 5 to your AC after an attack comes in to keep yourself safe with some repel. 3rd level warlocks get a Pact Boon. For you, that's an enhanced Hexblade with a Pact weapon. That gives you a magical weapon you can conjure to yourself as an action. It can be two-handed, and since you're a Hex Warrior, you can use your charisma modifier for it. We're also going to swap out one of the invocations with improved Pact weapon, adding 1 to your attack and damage rolls with your Pact weapon. That's a much more Reaver-y Soul Reaver. You can also learn 2nd level spells. Invisibility will turn you invisible for an hour depending on your concentration, or until you cast a spell or make an attack. Now your Soul Reaver can be a Dark Weaver. 4th level warlocks get an ability score improvement. Charisma is the obvious place to go. Hexblades make gishing much less mad. You can also learn another spell like Hold Person, which paralyzes a humanoid if they fail a wisdom saving throw, letting you get some critical hits for free with a melee attack. Stunning is good in the games. It's also good in D&D. 5th level warlocks get another invocation. Thirsting Blade lets you make 2 attacks with a Pact weapon instead of 1. It's what makes Warlock one of the best Gish classes, especially with Hexblade. You can also learn 3rd level spells. Blink lets you move between dimensions every turn, rolling a d20 at the end of your turn. If you roll an 11 or higher, you spend your next turn in the Border Ethereal ethereal plane, unable to be hit on the material plane. It's kind of unfair. It's not even concentration. 6th level Hexblades get a Cursed Spectre, letting you turn a humanoid you kill into a spectre with extra temporary HP equal to your Warlock level, and it adds your Charisma modifier to its attack rolls, so it'll kinda scale pretty well as the build continues. You can get a little ghost buddy once per long rest. For this level spell, Elemental Weapon lets you add a d4 of acid, cold, fire, lightning, or thunder damage, and it gets +1 to attack rolls for an hour, putting a little oomph flavor of your choice on the Soul Reaver. 7th level Warlocks get another Invocation. Cloak of Flies is the closest we can come to turning into a swarm of bats by turning into a swarm of flies. Any creature within 5 feet of you takes your Charisma modifier and poison damage. You have advantage on intimidation checks and disadvantage on other charisma checks. That makes sense. Bats are great at scaring people out of a cave, but terrible at getting alone. For 1st level spells, Staggering Smite lets you add 4d6 psychic damage to your next weapon attack and force a wisdom saving throw on a creature. Failing that, they have disadvantage on attack rolls, ability checks, and can't take reactions, which should shift the balance in your favor. You might think it's time for 8th level Warlock now, but no, surprise, Sorcerer level. Specifically a Shadow Sorcerer. With that, you get Eyes of the Dark for 120 feet of dark vision, so the night shift is even less of a hassle. You also get Strength of the Grave, letting you avoid dying the first time you should per long rest, rolling a Charisma saving throw of 5 plus the amount of damage you took. Generally, that's going to be pretty high at later levels, but if you were going down to something like a Flurry, it could help. For cantrips, Light makes 10 feet of bright light, so you can affix it to things if you don't want to see in black and white. Mold Earth lets you do some small flavor stuff to the ground, changing its color, moving a 5-foot cube of it. Ray of Frost is a ranged spell attack that deals 2d8 cold damage and slows a creature's movement speed by 10 feet because ice is nice. Knack is sort of the spiritual successor to the Legacy of Kain games, when you think about it. Gust is some fun flavor stuff, with wind, blowing out candles, or forcing a strength saving throw on a creature, pushing them 5 feet back. For 1st level spells, Featherfall prevents up to 5 falling creatures from taking falling damage as a reaction, and Jump will triple your jump distance for a minute. Both of those will combine for some floatier movement. 2nd level Sorcerers get a Font of Magic with sorcery points they can use to recover spell slots or do cooler things with next level. Since you're a Warlock and recover those slots on short rests, you can also boil them down to get more sorcery points. It's called a coffee lock, and it's kind of busted. So is Kain. For this level spell, Disguise Self lets you change your appearance with illusory magic. Other creatures can make an intelligence check against your spell DC to see through it. If they do, just kill them. 3rd level Sorcerers get a meta magic option, letting you augment your spells with sorcery points. Heightened Spell gives a creature disadvantage on a saving throw of a spell you cast. An Empowered Spell lets you reroll a number of damage die equal to your Charisma modifier. Both are fantastic options to make sure you're killing Mobius. You could even kill him twice. You can also learn 2nd level spells like Misty Step, letting you teleport 30 feet as a bonus action. Pairing this with Blink, you'll just be going all around the battlefield. It's very, very fun. 4th level Sorcerers get another ability score improvement or feat. Let's grab these skill expert feat and round up that charisma to 20. Grab another skill like History to understand time after all of those timelines, and expertise in athletics for some super strength. Grab Alter Self for your spell at this level. It lets you disguise yourself without illusion and change it up with an action. You can also make yourself a werewolf with some natural weapons that deal 1d6 plus 1 damage and are magical in terms of overcoming resistances. It's bad since your extra attack only works with your packed weapon, and you could also get a set of gills. I don't like Alter Self, but it's something Kain can do. 5th level Sorcerers can learn 3rd level spells like Gaseous Form to turn into a vaporous cloud. It floats around. You get resistance to non-magical damage and have advantage on strength, dexterity, and constitution saving throws. Sometimes it's good to be a little gassy. That's why I ate some cheese. 6th level Shadow Sorcerers get a Hound of Ill Omen, letting you summon a ghostly direwolf that's medium instead of large, has temporary hit points equal to half your sorcerer level, can move through walls and creatures like they're difficult terrain, and just really wants to kill one person of your choice. It's more necromantic fun. For this level spell, Haste doubles a creature's movement speed, adds 2 to their AC, gives them advantage on dexterity saving throws, and an extra action to dash, disengage, hide, make an attack, or use an object. It happens to be my favorite spell, but it also just lets you go berserk. 7th level Sorcerers can learn 4th level spells, but most of them are bad, and I need more 3rd level ones. Enemies abound forces an intelligence saving throw on a creature. Failing that, they perceive all creatures as hostile and have to make an opportunity attack whenever they have the ability to. Could inspire some serious hate. 8th level Sorcerers get another ability score improvement or feat. Since Hexblades are a mono-dependent class, we need nothing. Tough feat, plus 2 HP every level you have and every level you get from now on. It should make up for the weak sorcerer hit die we've had to take. For this level spell, Slow forces a wisdom saving throw on up to 6 creatures in a 40-foot cube. Failing that, they are anti-hasted. -2 AC, disadvantage on dexterity saving throws, half movement speed, can't use reactions, can only use an action or bonus action, not both, and if they cast a spell, they roll a d20, it only comes out this turn on an 11 or higher, otherwise comes out next turn. It is such a huge suite of debuffs, chronomancy is the strongest magic of all. 9th level sorcerers can learn 5th level spells. These are actually good. Telekinesis lets you move objects with your mind weighing 1,000 pounds or less. If that object is also a people, they can make an athletics check against a charisma check on your end. You're capped off, so I'm guessing they're going up. 10th level sorcerers get another meta magic option. Quicken Spell lets you cast a spell as a bonus action that normally takes an action, letting you get some nasty spells out and 2 attacks at a time. For this level spell, Enervation forces a dexterity saving throw on a creature. If they succeed, they take 2d8 necrotic damage. If they fail, they take 4d8 necrotic damage, and you heal half that amount. You can repeat that on following turns to just slurp up enemies like Kool-Aid. 11th level sorcerers can learn 6th level spells. Circle of Death gives your foes a shower. A blood shower. Forcing a constitution saving throw on creatures in a 60-foot radius sphere, dealing 8d6 necrotic damage to those that fail, half as much to those that succeed. Sure, it's the same damage numbers as the 3rd level fireball, but the radius is massive. This can take out a whole army in one spell. 12th level sorcerers get another ability score improvement or feat. The Warcaster feat will give you advantage on constitution saving throws. You can cast spells for opportunity attacks and cast spells with your hands full. The first 2 parts are a little more important, helping you keep all those buffs up. Our capstone is the 13th level of sorcerer for 7th level spells like teleport, letting you warp anywhere you're familiar with on the same plane. The more familiar you are, the more accurate the teleportation is. So set up a sanctuary and get back for some recuperation. Now that we've hit level 20, let's figure out how viable this build is. First, you are a fantastic caster with a plethora of different damage types, big damage numbers, and some utility options as well. You're also great with martial abilities, extra attack, a fantastic weapon, and some smitey spells. Finally, you're still pretty tanky with decent AC, over 150 HP, and ways to reduce incoming damage. For weaknesses, you have a lot of concentration, so you're gonna have to pick and choose what you want to use. You're also, boy, I don't know. Intelligence saves are +0. Not super common, but feeble mind could be an issue. And, no calligraphy. Yeah, Kain's busted in the Legacy of Kain series, and maybe even more busted in Dungeons and Dragons. Do anything. Tank, face, DPS, really everything but healing. Just don't get bamboozled. If someone evil tricked you, your power could be really, really bad for the world. Thanks for watching. If you like the video, subscribe for more. We make 2 videos every week. Join the Patreon to support the channel. Follow me on Twitch to watch me play video games, and sub to Tulok and Mango for more Tulok fun.